Hey guys, how's it going? I'm thinking about getting a beard transplant because my beard's just so clout, did it? I just got some dead ass beard.
What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we are going to be weighing in again on the KSI beard transformation. So he has not had much success as of recent apparently, and it prompted him to post this video literally asking for advice this time. So rather than giving unprompted advice, at this point he is literally asking people to say what they think about either beard growth protocols and or beard transplants in particular. So perhaps he saw, Floyd Mayweather getting his beard transplant recently. Maybe he's been researching it more, thinks it's the only thing that's going to work at this point. But this is what he says.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm thinking about getting a beard transplant because my beard's just so clout, did it? I just got some dead ass beard.
Okay, so he says he's thinking of getting a beard transplant. And let's look at the comments first. So we have, let's see. I'm basically just seeing if I'm in here somewhere. More plates, more dates. Made a whole ass video for your for your clapped beard and you just ignored it. Is there anything else in here? No, doesn't look like it. So anyways, as far as the beard transplant, could it work? Certainly. Has he exhausted all of his resources in terms of trying to maximize natural growth? No, I don't think he has. I think he has tried the bare minimum approach of microneedling with a really shitty roller that was provided to him by some company that takes 50-cent rollers and sells them for $80. Using a depth that is subpar, using a piece of shit that is from China that is not very high quality at all, as opposed to a medical grade device that you could otherwise be using to punch, proper holes in your face and actually get deep enough depth to enhance absorption and perhaps enhance sulfotransferase enzyme activity as well. In addition to that, the minoxidil he's used, he's only tried traditional 5%. As far as I know, from what I saw in his videos, that's what he was using, the 5% strength. As far as what he could be using, well, I guess that depends on how liberal his doctor is, but it is certainly possible to compound minoxidil preparations upwards of 7.5%, 10%, 12.5%, even upwards of 15%. There are a lot of Indian pharmacies online selling this stuff. There are a lot of doctors out there that will legitimately prescribe it to you as well. So there are definitely options in terms of it's not just like, oh, 5% doesn't work. Therefore, if a 50 milligram application doesn't work, then I'm just fucked. Well, there's a dose-dependent response with this shit relative to exposure. It's not necessarily that just because 5%, 1 milliliter twice a day doesn't work for you, that therefore it doesn't work. That's not the case at all. In fact, there are a lot more options above and beyond that he has not explored either, in my opinion. So the first thing would be getting a high-quality microneedling device. This would not be a little shitty derma roller that you can get off, Alibaba that is then repurposed and relabeled by some company that's going to sell it to you for $80. Rather, it's going to be an actual device like the Derminator 2 or some other kind of high quality derma pen, in my opinion, would be the ideal choice. If you've seen any of my videos before about the microneedling device that I use personally, would highly recommend. I'll drop a link down in the description below. So anyways, that's the one I use for scalp microneedling. It's also the one I would use for a beard as well if I was trying to be the most efficient, trying to get the most accurate depth, trying to get the job done in the most effective way possible. Like there's nothing, I would never be picking some little shitty like roller you get online personally. So that's the first thing. Minoxidil 5%, maybe you need more, Maybe you have shitty amounts of sulfotransferase enzyme expression and you need to enhance that in some way. Maybe you need to be compounding your minoxidil not only with a higher preparation dosage, maybe you need some tretinoin in there, which is something that, most people in their late 20s are probably going to start looking at anyways for anti-aging if they're, care about self-improvement and shit like that. So, you know, two birds with one stone. Really, realistically, if you use tretinoin, you get the anti-aging properties of it. In addition, you upregulate sulfosyltransferase enzyme activity, which then allows you to convert more minoxidil to monoxidil sulfate than you would have otherwise. Because for a lot of individuals, it's not necessarily that their body simply doesn't respond to the drug, more so that their enzymatic density, the gene that encodes for the creation of the enzyme itself, this thing might be subpar. Maybe you need to upregulate it in some capacity to actually get that mechanism of action fully deployed, where you have that conversion of minoxidil to the active minoxidil sulfate that then exerts its effects in the tissue. Because if you can't get it to that form, you're essentially doing nothing. So for individuals who are enzyme deficient, I should say, then they might be minoxidil non-responders. Does that mean you can't become a minoxidil responder though? No, maybe you just need to add some tretinoin to your minoxidil and it'll convert you to a responder. There is a decent amount of clinical literature to support that this may be the case. And that's even using 5% minoxidil. So, you know, obviously microneedling perhaps more frequently, perhaps with a deeper depth, perhaps with a better device. In addition, compounding the minoxidil with tretinoin to enhance sulfosyltransferase enzyme activity. Above and beyond that, improving or increasing the concentration per milliliter of the minoxidil solution itself. So not only do you have enhanced conversion to the active form that's actually doing something, you could be applying it. It's not doing fucking shit just because of this enzymatic deficiency. Above and beyond that, increasing the dosage, higher exposure, greater net effect, as well as the enzymatic upregulation. This can be like a 1 + 1 = fucking 10 effect for somebody like this. In addition to that, what else could you do? Let's just say hypothetically you do all that and you still have shit enzymatic activity. Well, you know what has good enzymatic activity is your liver. So maybe you look at Lonatin tablets. This is not something I'm saying you should do. I'm saying this is something you should run by your doctor. Anyone who does not respond to topical minoxidil, regardless of all of the different ways they go about trying it, will in general respond to oral Lonatin, which is oral minoxidil. This is the initial preparation that was designed for treating hypertension, which incidentally they found as a byproduct interaction caused hair growth everywhere, including on your beard to a significant extent. So this is, you know, something they figured they could repurpose in a topical context for hair loss, and indeed it does work. That's why it also works on your beard locally. However, the most potent way to go about it, where you get the most conversion of minoxidil to monoxidil sulfate, is in fact ingesting the actual initially designed product in oral preparation, where you get max conversion from minoxidil to monoxidil sulfate in the liver. And then yes, you will get significant amounts of growth of hair everywhere. That includes body hair, that includes facial hair, that includes scalp hair, that includes everything hair. So very, very potent drug, and something that would be worth running by your doctor if this is something you're interested in. Again, revisiting the oral castor oil as well too. Not something you necessarily need to do, but something that is certainly effective. You know, a lot of people are, I actually have a video I'm gonna react to soon. I saw there's this chick who chugs a bottle of castor oil like on a consistent basis. I was fucking shocked that she was using this much and reported no side effects for years of use, which is, like, I'm very conservative with oral castor oil. I cycle it, and when I do use it, I don't typically go over 5 to 10 milliliters. And you know, when I first started, I would literally religiously only use 1 to 2 milliliters. But from what I've seen, it seems to be well tolerated around, you know, the 5 milliliter mark. Some people have digestive distress though. Obviously, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do it. Do a bit more research into that, but oral castor oil is definitely effective at what it does. Is it going to move the needle like oral minoxidil or a high concentration topical, like a 10 to 15% compounded with tretinoin with microneedling on a frequent basis? No, but it's going to be another mechanism of action that you can leverage to then have a compounding effect that yields a greater net result overall. So, you know, there's a lot of shit you can do. Personally, I do not think he has even close to exhausted his options. And frankly, I don't even think he watched my fucking video to find out. So if you want advice at this point, these are the things you could look into, dude, that would move the needle. And then after that, if this shit still doesn't work, okay, you know, beard transplant should be on the table for sure, potentially. But, you know, you have no idea what you're working with until you've actually tried to see if your body's deficient in these certain things that are ultimately going to dictate if you actually respond to these drugs or not. So, you know, I highly doubt this could simply be a case of you are not a good responder because of this deficiency, which you can, in fact, manually address and fix very easily. You just have not tried it yet. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplates.moredates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplates.moredates, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below, including my TRT clinic. It's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. We have access to compounding pharmacies that are able to make preparations very similar to what I was just discussing, as well as you can see the links to, I don't think I usually have the Derminator link in my video descriptions, but I'll put it in the pinned comment, or I'll just put a pinned comment with some of the shit I'm talking about for you to check out, as well as fast-drying non-greasy minoxidil. But if you want, obviously if you want a high concentration or one compounded with tretinoin, that's something you're either going to have to get prescribed and or, do it yourself. But ideally you would get it prescribed by a doctor, because that's the way you should be doing it, of course. So anyways, and no, there's no oral Lonatin that you're going to get prescribed in the US, but for KSI, maybe where he is, might be easy to get. And obviously if you talk to your doctor, there's probably ways to go about getting it that may not have to do with, you'll figure it out. It's not fucking rocket science. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Talk to you soon.